I have a quote I came up with on the back of my business card. It reads, "People want to be a part of something successful. They don't want to tread water to just survive." As I've made my way across this amazing state in my campaign, I've come to realize just how much my life has been and continues to revolve around this all-important principle. I've made a habit out of swimming for that farther shore, and I've been blessed to have people be willing to follow me as I've swam. I've always had three things going for me in anything I do. 1, both my mother and grandmother were teachers. 2, both sides of my family are legendary for their persistence. And for the third, my stepfather was a member of United Mine Workers Local 1257. Union life was a big part of my childhood. And those three things have impacted me in ways that I am grateful for today. For a long time, educators in Texas have had to hold on, treading water in the face of what has at times seemed an overwhelmingly strong riptide, trying to find a way to just make it through and teach the kids, suffering with quiet dignity and noble purpose. And our numbers have suffered as educators have left our calling. To be sure, it's happened in a lot of other places around the country, but the Lone Star State has been among the hardest hit. In 2018, the number of alternatively certified teachers in Texas nearly exceeded the number of certified post-baccalaureate, university undergraduate, and out-of-state programs combined. And with 2/3 of our top 30 locals declining or stagnant in membership last year, our union has also reflected the struggle to reach those coming into public education with different experiences than what we're used to. If we are to thrive, we need to provide those new educators joining our profession with the reassurance and support that public education is a field worth entering. I believe that an important part of leadership is being able to provide that vision for all to see. It can be hard to swim for an unseen shore when there doesn't seem to be land in sight. Leaders set a course through the stars and seas to reach destinations once thought unreachable. Leaders are able to shift, design, and create infrastructure to support long-term success. They help create a following current to encourage swimmers to reach distant shores. A sudden storm can turn calm into turmoil. Effective leaders in a storm are able to rise to unexpected situations and not be overcome by them. They can see the larger picture even amongst the oft chaotic details of tragedy and strife. I believe effective leadership matters most in this time, for it is here that all of the other elements are combined in the crucible and forged together to lead a people or a group to safety and surety through crisis. In all of this, there's an overarching need for clarity and communication. The truth, as they say, does not change according to our ability to stomach it. That direct quote from Flannery O'Connor serves me well as a guide. It is why most of you know me as a person who endeavors to always speak with open, truthful articulation. It's why friends and foes alike come to me for guidance and advice, because they know that I will give them the stability of honesty and forthrightness and shared understanding even in the most difficult of times. Over my time here in Texas, you have seen my work. Many of you heard vision and foresight in my asking on a cold November morning 8 years ago what TSTA would do to take advantage of soon-to-be shifting political tides. You've seen my work in creating and implementing a vision that had Killeen educators grow faster and more consistently than any other local in the state. You've seen my leadership in first helping and then leading the redesign of Region 10 into what is now the largest and most active membership region in the state for 3 years running. These changes and growth are a direct result of seeing the larger picture and adjusting to meet the needs of the organization. Even before the time of COVID, TSTA has been moving towards what I call a decision point, a crossroads, if you would. A time where we will be forced to undertake a direct and hard look at our traditions and how we work as a union. Our membership numbers have dropped. Our budgets are reduced to where painful choices will soon need to be made. The plain truth is that if we wish to retain our viability and draw others to our vision for public education, we must continue the changes begun and implemented over the last years. Continue to change how we operate and find new ways to bring our fellow educators into the fold. What matters most to those who look for aid and direction in time of crisis is to see evidence of the work being done. And while the national level will be important in helping provide support, the real action will take place at the state and local levels. We must be active in working for and protecting our students, our educators, and our community, and we must be seen to be doing so by all of those stakeholders. And now, during the time of COVID, that process has been accelerated as we've been tossed into the maelstrom of figuring out how to operate as a union in a digital world. Instead of months or years to prepare, we're designing and building our new airplane now, as it already hurtles through the air at breakneck speed. It is that crucible moment that demands leadership at the most crucial time. I, Killeen Educators, and Region 10 have once more risen to meet that moment. Our local has already envisioned, created, and begun implementing a comprehensive new online operations model and infrastructure, so KEA can continue to grow and serve our members in this brave new digital world. We garnered over 1,100 signatures and wide community support on a successful petition drive to keep Killeen ISD closed, securing pay, medical, and leave benefits for all employees throughout the crisis in a coordinated campaign conceived and implemented within a week of the initial closure. I've begun and strengthened relationships with board members and been interviewed by news media on multiple occasions, including members of the state and national press. I've spoken with numerous public officials, advocating for equity of learning access for both special needs students and those lacking equipment or broadband internet during this time of forced digital learning. As a result, KEA has seen its Facebook likes increase by 50% since the start of the crisis. My appearances on podcasts and live streams over the last weeks have helped spread our message to well over 51,000 watchers. We've continued to grow in membership over the last month, are planning the launch of our own podcast, and are now receiving interest in potentially starting 3 new locals in our region in Coppers Cove, Belton, and now Midway ISD. Much as we did with our 50K to 70K without delay campaign, Region 10 has begun working on creating and coordinating with multiple locals to ensure the safety and stability of our members and their communities across Central Texas. In Region 10, it means that we have the power of over 3,600 educators backing us, rather than just several hundred in any one particular local. We are literally creating new frameworks and concepts for all of us to use, using the support and power of the region to help generate increased visibility and leverage across much wider swaths of Texas. There's the legend of the Emperor Napoleon pushing for the planting of trees along roads across Europe. He did so because he foresaw a need to shade his armies, saving their strength and energy while they marched. His generals objected, saying that it would take 20 years for the trees to reach the level of growth needed to do the job. His response, "Ensuite, nous devons commencer maintenant." Then we must begin now. Times of crisis also provide for times of opportunity. By working together in even greater numbers, we raise awareness of and draw others to align with our cause and our goals. By visibly doing the work, we not only preserve our viability in the here and now, but also lay the groundwork for the fulfillment of our goals in the future, including the restoration of collective bargaining in the state of Texas. But as Napoleon saw it, we must begin now. We will do this by standing and working together, by setting a course through seas and stars to reach previously unreachable destinations. I bring to your table today a unique and repeatedly demonstrated ability to unite educators in common cause through an unflagging commitment to public education and an ability to see and lead others to that larger picture. I bring repeatedly tried and true experiences of having built and rebuilt organizational infrastructures to implement a coordinated vision. And I have and am leading through times of extreme adversity, charting a steady course through uncertain waters. I face this crisis clear-eyed, resolute in achieving ultimate success for TSTA. I will never stop asking how we can do better, because I can see that farther shore where public schools and those who bring the future to the present are truly respected and valued. I've done these things at the local and region levels, and now I wish to serve you at the next level. My name is Rick Bollet. I am running to serve you as your next TSTA Vice President. Thank you all for your time, and hopefully your vote.